At this part, at this stage of adulthood, where I'm at, and a lot of people who gonna look at this as that, that 25 to 30 age range, that peaking over that first quarter, a century, I think like to still debate and be wary of the purpose, the benefits, and all that of a double standard is kind of childish. I mean, niggas should get it by now. I mean, the reason why, and we're talking about a sexual double standard. I mean, there's double standards for everything. It just so happens that the big one seems to be that sex double standard, where it's like, well, why are women, looked at as less when they have multiple sexual partners, and men are looked at as more? Now, there's two alternatives to this for me, because I mean, everything I talk about, I always say there's two realms of reality. It's like the spiritual, and then it's the instinctive, like the animal kingdom type shit. So, animal kingdom, if you want to break it down that way, I think the reason why men are kind of overlooked for this standard is because instinctively our job is to drop seed in multiple places, because it increases the chance of the offspring being sprouted, and continuing the bloodline more thoroughly. That's pretty much what that's about. That's why you see a lot of men out here having multiple partners of sex. Not condoning it. I don't believe in that, because one I'm gonna get to in a minute, I think we're more spiritually based. But the animal instinct is pretty much where that comes from, because you want to conquer and have as many women as possible. Even though, I mean, niggas have condoms and pull out because they just want the sexual part of it. It's hard to differentiate that. But what they're really, doing, in their loins is just wanting to spread seed in different places. So, on the other hand, the women, their priority in life is to pretty much build a home and have a family. So they find the available suitor, which is the strongest male, the alpha male, who they feel is gonna have the features they want in their children and be able to protect the children. So using sex, to make kids is pretty much what the woman's priority is, just to have one home. So it doesn't really make any sense for them to want multiple partners, because you can have multiple childbirths with one man. You gotta wait 9 months every time anyway. So that tells you like the instinctive reason there's a standard, because it's just the way we're built. Now I know a lot of women are like, oh, that's bullshit, blah blah blah, and it's true. I mean, and it is, because I don't feel like we're animals. We have a spiritual purpose. But if you want to knock the spiritual perspective, here's the thing. A male in this case spiritually shouldn't be humping around and doing all that either, because a male should find a female and build a family and be monogamous. That's many reasons I can't get into now, but that's the ideal way for that. And a female, it's the same thing, but it's even more, because women have the ability to bear children. So their vagina, which is the birth canal, has priority over everything. It's the most valued, prized possession. So the reason you don't sleep around and the reason you don't do that is because you don't give away something so valuable so easily. I mean, it's mind over matter. We all know sex feels good. That's why we all do it. But the reason it's looked at, in a wide perspective, just like don't do that shit and they call you hoes and all that, it's because you're giving away a benzo for $10. It's the same concept. I mean, we all have needs and all that, so that's when it gets overlooked. But if you want to look at it from a real perspective, I mean, you have the ability to give life, and your vagina is where life comes from. So to actually hand that away in so many cases, and for just about anything, I mean, in a broad perspective outside of your own, is being dumb. I mean, you just don't want to do that. It doesn't make any sense. It's not good business. And I'm not saying to sell your vagina, but it's just like, you think of it from that perspective, like, you just don't trade value for bullshit. And that's what, a lot of women do. And I mean, men contribute to it as well. It's not really to single y'all out, but the thing is, if you having free sex to someone that you don't even plan on being, I mean, it's levels. I mean, technically you should be married first, but nobody does that. But if you just gonna continue to give sex to somebody who's not even taking you seriously, who's not even a possibility to become something more to the next level, to where you can eventually have like the family set and everything, You know, I mean, sometimes you gotta grind from the bottom to the top. But if you just out here fucking niggas because I mean, you know, you do you. But I mean, at the same time, you gotta accept, you know, the good with the bad. The good is that feeling. The bad is you you giving away your value. And I mean, the more and more niggas hit, and the less and less, you know, desirable your shit is. I mean, that's how it is, you know. But I mean, there's more to it than that. But that's all I'm gonna get into. But pretty much that's how I want to talk about that subject.